Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Jay McMain.
Keys Business, formerly Hurt Business. It's Keys Business now. Go Team USA, you already know. My bad, wrong side.
And you know what is your favorite hoochie daddy, man? The big bad hoochosaurus, man.
All right, and we are back in the building for another episode of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We had a very busy wrestling weekend, nice 2 weeks. But let's get into it. What was your thoughts on Survivor Series War Games?
I think the women outdid the men. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people on Twitter coming at me for this. Like, I think the women really outdid the men. The men was more storytelling. The women had more action.
It was a lot of botches, though. Me personally, I feel like it showed that some women are great for like 5-minute matches, maybe 10. But first off, I don't remember War Games being that long, because I know I was watching it and the women's match lasted to about 9:00. Even maybe like 9:15. I don't remember War Games being that long, but there was a lot of botches in that match.
It wasn't EO's night. It wasn't EO's night at all.
Yeah, at all. Bianca had a couple botches. Bayley botched the Hurricanrana, which she almost broke her neck.
I think it was a lot of nerves. You got to remember, it was a lot of first timers for the War Games. The only ones that was in it before were Bianca, EO, and Rhea.
And right. Hold on. No,
Dakota too, right?
Dakota. Yeah, Dakota.
Yeah, because Mia was supposed to be in it.
Everybody except for Bayley and
Mia.
Bayley, Mia, and
Nikki.
Bayley, Mia, Nikki.
Actually,
and Oscar, yeah.
And Alexa. I don't think Alexa.
I forgot about Alexa. Yeah, I don't even remember her in the match. I forgot about Alexa being in that match.
All right, so Shad said Bayley also botched the KOD into the cage as well. Well, yeah, because I mean it was awkward. So Bianca just had to throw her knees against the cage. Yeah,
it was a bad spot. It was a bad spot for that KOD. I'm like, I didn't understand that one. I'm like, she was better off just dropping her on the ropes instead of the cage.
Right.
That's what I felt. I'm like, wait, all right. But I kind of think the men's was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a long time. It's storytelling. But the women, they had their botches, but it was good. They did all right. There was a lot of nerves.
I think the men's was better just because of that. The storytelling, like the way it ended, was beautiful with Jay and Sammy embracing, and then we seen it carry over to Monday on Raw. Like, right. I think the men's one told a story. The women's one was a better match. The men's one told a much better story just on the bloodline side.
Right, especially the part when the second person entered and Jimmy was ready to go. Roman was like, nah, Sammy, go ahead.
Yeah, that was fire.
Exactly, forcing them to work together. Hold on, we might have to. Actually, we didn't do. I just realized we didn't do a show last week, so we didn't even touch on
MJF
on Full Gear.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Full Gear also.
Okay.
At that. Let's see.
Y'all like that Finn AJ? Y'all like that Finn AJ match?
I did.
It
wasn't better than the first one though.
It wasn't. What kind of caught me off guard was the women. I guess they were tired, so they just had their match, so they had to sell the injuries. But I still would have liked to see, So all right, my question is it Meacham or is it Meacham Mia Yim? Like, I don't know what WWE's doing with her name right now.
They call her both, because even on Raw last night, they called her Meacham Mia Yim.
Right.
I don't understand what the Meacham is.
It's like
So-
whenever the moment, I guess. I guess it's in the heat of the moment. Whatever they feel like calling her, that's what they're gonna call her.
Yeah, because when she came out last night, even on her video board, it says Meacham now. So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
Henry.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
What's up, brother?
what's good, bro? I'm here to argue, man.
Uh-oh.
I don't know who you
I'm here
arguing
to
with.
argue, man. Nah. So what's the topic? What y'all was talking about?
I mean, but I definitely like the fact that Alexa versus Nikki started. Yeah, that rivalry did definitely start.
Yeah, which they needed. They were gonna revisit that anyway, and kind of full circle that one. So I like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot they was a tag team.
Yep.
Right.
And then the whole thing with Alexa turning on her when she went on, the brace side. So I like them going back and revisiting that because it's a lot of stuff that they can go back to with the women to create
Right.
new stories that gives them stuff to, have. So that way everybody ain't just sitting and catering.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Ain't nobody in catering now.
But I do feel like Rhea and Mia should have definitely been out there for the AJ Styles match, AJ versus Finn, because it would just make sense. But I did like on Raw that they gave Mia back her entrance music, so it's like they're dibbling dabbling back and forth with a lot of stuff.
They got Rhea looking like an unstoppable force, yo.
Well, I mean, because think about it, she's gonna be the next one to challenge Bianca, and they have to build for it.
But I think that's how you got to build her, though. Like, once you do all the stuff with her only, like, touching men, like, for the last couple of months, up until Mia got there, she really hasn't wrestled a woman. Outside of her going to NXT like a month ago.
I thought she was injured. Part
of it, I think part of it was that at first, and they brought her back and had her on TV. She just wasn't doing any physical contact. So, but she was, beating up on Dominic, beating up on other guys. Now you got Mia. Now she's back in the war. She was in the War Games match. It's like, all right, now we have to continue that dominance. But now she has to do it with women now.
Right. All right. So Facebook user says, they're making Rhea look like the next China. Yeah,
I think so.
I can see.
I can see it. Up outside of doing men's matches, yeah.
Nah, Beth Phoenix. I didn't say China.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
What would you say? Beth was like the next China at that time?
Yeah,
more athletic. More athletic.
Yeah.
A
little bit. She does.
I would say had a couple of clotheslines, a body slam, and a backflip.
I agree with that only because Beth was doing more acrobatic stuff. It wasn't just her being strong and powerful. So
I mean, China was built more though. China was strong.
Yeah, China was built.
She was
China's more like Jordan Grace, like the way Jordan Grace is built. Well, was before she slimmed down.
Right.
Well, even now, even with her slimming down now, she's still Jordan Grace is like that. You don't get too much high flying out of Jordan Grace. It's more just I'm a strong ass woman. I'm gonna throw you around and manhandle you. So
right. Now I know this is going to be very unpopular with Keys, but I am happy that Austin Theory won that match.
I knew that's where you were going. I knew that's where you were going.
I am not an Austin Theory fan. Let's just clear the air with that. But I do feel he should have won that match where he did cash in the Money in the Bank against Seth. I feel he should have won that then. But I guess what I'm saying, they wanted to wait and kind of. I feel like he should have won it then, and then this triple threat match he should have went in as champ and retained it somehow.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. Yeah.
Because the first person, whoever cashed in the Money in the Bank on a mid card title, he should have won it. It just made sense.
But all right. So as much as I hate Theory, and I do, there's nothing. I said it in the chat. There's nothing that's gonna make me like Theory. I like the match. I overall like the match. All three of them. The triple threat was dope. Even the finisher, even though I don't think it was supposed to go exactly like that, but I still liked it. Bobby hit the spear and Theory falling on Seth for the win. I kind of like that because it's like Theory stole it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't really win it. Bobby caused him to win it, but he's got it.
Right.
So it's like we're here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Right.
do like that. So I think we're gonna get some really good matches out of Theory and Seth. Seth is gonna put him over, of course.
So what is Seth a babyface now, or is he a tweener?
He's still
like
a
Bobby?
tweener.
Yeah.
He's a tweener. Bobby's a heel.
Bobby's a heel now.
Seth is a tweener. He's supposed to be a heel, but the crowd, you know how they go. The crowd love, but you can't. And I think I seen something that Triple H had said a while ago. A lot of times you can't help how the crowd reacts to things. It could be planned one way. You could be doing everything the right way as far as being a heel. MJF is a perfect example of that right now too. He's 100% a heel, but certain cities, certain things he does and says, the crowd is just gonna react. And it's nothing. He tries his best to bring them back to hating him, but you gotta love him right now. And Seth, to me, Seth is the same way. As much as you want to hate Seth, you can't. Like Seth is like at that in between. I think Roman's there too. Roman's
Right.
a heel. Rome is a tweener.
Yeah. But I mean, so how did Bobby become a heel, man? Like like I said, I try to catch up, man. Lately, I've been watching Raw.
The attack on Mustafa, right? The attacks he keep attacking Mustafa.
It was after the Brock match. After Brock beat him at at Crown Jewel, when he attacked Brock, he went heel at that point. And then everything
Brock beat him at Crown Jewel?
Yeah.
And then everything from that point has been what he did to Mustafa Ali. Like everything has been heel stuff.
But the crowd's still cheering him.
Again, you honestly cannot help how the crowd is gonna react. The crowd's
you know what? He's a heel that don't need Bobby's a heel that don't need no outside interference to help him win matches. That's why you gotta love him.
Right.
That's why I feel like he's a Brock Lesnar type now, man. He's like a badass tweener.
Yeah.
Like our era loves him. The little kids might not like him, but we love him.
Right.
Even from our, like the 25s and up love him.
So does Bianca get to complete the series wins against the four? You know, I was in a space right before this. I didn't even read the whole question, but I know where you're going with it. I was in a space right before this, and they were talking about that. The Black Wrestling Podcast space. Shout out to them. BRP is lit. They do a list every year. The BRP 50 men, women, like it's dope. But they had a space and they were talking about this, and I feel like the answer to that question, in my opinion, is yes, because Charlotte is as much. I feel like Rhea and Charlotte are her next two people, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want it to be her and Rhea at WrestleMania, but I feel like it's going to be her and Rhea at Rumble, and it's going to be her and Charlotte at Mania. Yeah. And I think Charlotte's going to win the Rumble. She's coming back.
God, please no.
I'm gonna tell you, hold on. She's coming back at Rumble. She's winning the Rumble. She's facing Bianca. Bianca's gonna win. Charlotte is the last horsewoman for her to beat. She's beat Sasha, Becky, and Bayley. Charlotte's the only one she hasn't.
I mean, she ain't beat Bayley, and she still got to face Bayley in WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
True.
So
Bianca.
No, she didn't get Becky at WrestleMania. She got Becky at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and she didn't beat Becky. I mean Bayley twice. So
she got Bayley, but I mean she still beat them in title matches. She beat Sasha at WrestleMania in a title match. I mean, even if it's Charlotte at SummerSlam, I mean at Rumble, and
she did beat Becky in WrestleMania. She did beat Becky at Mania.
She did.
Right?
She did. Yeah.
She did.
For the belt, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Come on now.
You're right.
You're
right. And then she faced her again at SummerSlam.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Becky beat her. I thought Becky beat her at Mania.
Now Becky beat her at SummerSlam.
That was last year.
Bianca beat her at WrestleMania. Then they faced again in SummerSlam, and that's when
Bailey came back.
Yeah.
All right, so Sean said Bobby's heel turn was definitely started at Crown Jewel. Pretty soon we see a full Hurt Business reunion reforming. Yeah, Bobby's definitely been vocal. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, okay, so let's just play fantasy booking. Do you guys want to see the Hurt Business, the original Hurt Business, or would you like to see some names added?
Give me Bobby Omar, Shelton, and Apollo Crews, man.
Bobby Omar, because if you're doing this Hurt Business, MVP is clearly got to come back. So somehow they fixed that relationship after what happened. Bobby Omos, Carmelo Hayes.
Yep, that's the name I was thinking.
Street Profits. Both of them. Both of them.
Or just Montez.
Because my thing with Carmelo,
I feel like Montez. If just Montez, man.
Yeah,
they're not going
to. See,
they're not going to break the tag
Carmelo
team.
Hayes. If you have Carmelo Hayes, Montez can't be on there, man, because they're both up there, and one has to shine. Well, they could do what Evolution did with Batista and Randy Orton, but
they could. But that's why I said the Street Profits together as a tag team, because that's your tag team right there. Omos is your muscle. You got Bobby, and then you got Carmelo that can go get that IC title, US title. You know what I mean? You got the Street Profits getting the tag titles. Omos, he just there. He's the muscle. I don't think Omos needs a title. He's the muscle and he's there.
All right, so Facebook just says they don't need Omos. They already have a heavyweight already.
That's true. That is true.
But I feel like, again, he's the muscle. He's still that, he's just the muscle. That's it. But I feel like it might hurt Omos also because since he's been with MVP, they've done so much with him to build him. And I feel like if you do put him in the Hurt Business, you kind of regress him back.
Yeah, but after Crown Jewel, he hasn't wrestled since Crown Jewel, right?
Nah, he wrestled on he fought on Raw last week when they were supposed to fight The Miz, and he fought Gargano.
Okay. They didn't catch up on Raw, man. I've been slacking on watching Raw and SmackDown for real.
Well, Raw to me wasn't that good, but we'll get into that too. To touch base on the triple threat match, that assisted curb stomp was kind of dope.
Yeah, that was a fire spot. That was fire. I thought he was going to do a double curb stomp. I'm like, wait, how is he going to pull this off? How are you going to pull off a double curb stomp?
Honestly, he could have jumped off Theory back and just both legs landed on both of them. I mean, he could have did it.
I'm like, I hope this goes good. But that was fire. That was mad creative. I wasn't expecting. I thought he was going to do a double. I'm like, how is he going to pull the double, though? Because the way they were set up, I'm like, he's going to pull the double curve?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But, like, I was talking to my homeboy. He was with my brother. And he was like, because I was telling him it took me like 2 days to finish watching Survivor Series because I fell asleep on it. And then I tried to watch it at work, didn't happen. So then I was trying to watch it that night, but I had to go out. So it took me, I finished watching it literally like late Sunday night. But he was like, how you didn't watch it? It was only 3 matches besides the War Games matches. I was like, you know what, you're right.
It was, man. I missed it too. And I had to go back. And then I hate that Peacock doesn't, get you to watch it from the beginning. You have to like wait for that shit. Or if you rewind. So I had to wait. So I was watching some of the first War Game with the girls. It was good, but there was some botches, man. But
a lot of botches.
A lot of botches. And I'm like, but it was overall I liked it. But then I watched what was the next one? Was it Finn Balor versus AJ? I like that one.
Yeah.
That was fire. Kind of skipped the Ronda Rousey one.
Yeah, Ronda match that was botchy central, bro. That was botchy mania.
But any match that Ronda's in is full of botches. I mean,
she's not taking this wrestling shit serious, bro.
She's not.
Man, like, somebody said something. I don't know if it was on Twitter or one of y'all said something about that. In the early days, man, in the early days, like they were helping her. There was like a team effort to make her look good. Now
Yeah,
everybody that's a team effort, they ain't even fucking with her no
they're
more.
not fucking with her. They trying to get her out of there, especially after that shit she said about Sasha. That recent tweet she deleted. The shit she said about Sasha was crazy.
The crazy thing is, while people are blaming Shotzi for that match, people keep forgetting everybody, even if people feel like you're not that good in the ring, you still got to dumb down the little bit you do know or can do for her. A lot of those moves and stuff was
you got to slow down for her.
All of that should be Ronda, bro. Ronda is ass.
Like when Sasha tried to DDT her outside the ring, that was all Ronda. Let go of the rope. Let go of the rope. Yo, what are you doing?
Because as I'm watching, I'm like, so I watching with some coworkers. They was like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "I don't even know." All right, so Sway said Ronda's not a wrestler. And
it made Sasha look bad.
Shard said Ronda is a trash as a WWE talent. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just there for the bag, bro.
I mean, but she got potential though, man. Not potential like that, but like her name got potential, man. Like
that's what it is.
Like they can make the 4 horsewoman thing, man. I've been waiting for that shit. Like if they could put her in a group,
that would have been the perfect first War Games, the 4 horsewomen against each other.
Exactly. I'm just waiting for that. I know that might not happen in all this situation now, but
you might get it next year. You might get it next year.
Maybe.
Well,
we still don't know what Sasha Banks doing.
Well, that and then who is it? Marina Shafir, isn't she in AEW?
Oh yeah. So we're not getting that yet. Yeah. AEW sign you for life. Once you sign it in, it's Death Row.
You sign that bloodline.
Yeah, that's Death Row contract. Those are Death Row contracts. 5 and better.
Tony Khan.
I think Jessica McDukeman went back to MMA, I believe.
I thought she was in TNA.
When?
I don't know. I thought I saw her. I could be bugging, bro.
Yeah. And what else? All right. So it was that match. AJ and Finn, the triple threat, Ronda. Yeah, and then we had the men's War Game.
Which, man, I fell asleep the first time, but then I said, no, I gotta watch this. I liked it, man. I liked it.
They should have gave Solo more spots in that match, yo.
They should have. Yeah. They should have. They should have also gave what's his name. They should have built more of Roman and whoever his next opponent was. I know they did with Owen, but that was just a little bit, man. They should have said more.
All right, so Rashad says I believe Sasha's coming back after her match in Japan. And Noah says, "What's good? What's good, Noah?"
I think she's staying in Japan. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, I feel like the Rumble. If she doesn't come back from the Rumble, I think you were saying if she don't come back by the Rumble, then I think she might be either done or they may bring her back. So she has two big spots to come back, either the Rumble or night after WrestleMania. Those are only 2 spots I can see her.
Or at the end of WrestleMania. Or WrestleMania, pull the end of the match at the end of the match.
Yeah. But now the question is,
she changed her name though. That was weird. She copyrighted her name. She changed a lot of stuff. Right. She changed her name back. So I don't know. I think she's staying in Japan for a while.
All right. So Switch, I think Sasha's coming back at the Rumble.
I think she's going to Japan though.
I don't know. They got to get the bag, man. She's asking for big money, man, and she's worth it. I think she's worth it.
Now I think now the question is, do you bring her back with Naomi, or do you kind of bring them up separately?
Separately.
Separate?
Yeah, because the tag, they still got women's tag titles?
Yeah.
Damage Control got them.
Yeah, but still, they're gonna come if they book it right, man. If they both come out at the end of whatever pay-per-view or whatever live event y'all call it now, and both of them stick them titles up in the air, the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, they might come back. Listen, they might come back Elimination Chamber.
And Elimination Chamber is in February, though.
Yeah. If they don't come out the Rumble, Elimination Chamber is possible, but I see her going to China for a while. I mean, Japan for a while, though. I don't know why. Just to get that Japan experience.
Like what Ann said, she did copyright a lot of shit, man.
Yeah,
copyright a lot of stuff, a lot of shit, man. So, I mean.
Change her name back, all that.
Don't forget, she had that live where she said in 30 days. So.
Yeah, something special is going to happen.
Yeah, she's supposed to be having a match in Japan, Keys.
Think so?
Yeah. I think she's gonna sign with New Japan, bro. She already was in Mexico for a whole month getting that Lucha Libre experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna
And
go
they
get that.
do have, New Japan does have those have that IWGP Women's title now,
Yeah.
But I mean, but at the
which
same time,
Kari Sane just won.
right? But at the same time, who was it? Not and Carl Anderson still has the open weight title, which is in New Japan. So I mean, even if she signs with New Japan, she can still do things with WWE and vice versa. Triple H is more lenient to letting them do other things outside of, hey, you're just WWE, you just stick with WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
all right, so. All right, so Noah says, yeah, Bianca's going to beat Charlotte at Mania. And Shah said Naomi needs to be booked with her husband so that she can finally get that Usos versus Profits set up with the wives involved. Yeah, now that'll be a dope Mania match.
They just got to build Naomi up, though. They got to build Naomi up more.
Yeah, and they need to start doing that now.
Yeah, if they're going to do that, like how Bianca Belair is, man. Because right now, even though I hate her promos.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Geez, Keys love her promos. Look, he hit already, but Keys love her promos.
Yeah, when she first off that whole girl.
I only like one of her promos.
Bianca doesn't cut bad promos. Let's not do this.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does, man.
She doesn't.
It's so corny, and it's just the way she. I don't know if y'all
She
spotted
talks
it, but
like
remember
a
that
black.
time?
I don't know. She talk like my sisters. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's if you got black sisters, if you got a black girl, that's how she talk. She talk like them. It's normal.
But,
I don't know.
But Triple H is open to booking with other companies, which I agree. And Noah says, I don't want Roman to lose to Cody. The only person he needs to is Seth.
I think Cody makes sense because it's new.
Right. Because we've seen him versus Seth already.
But Seth makes sense also. Seth is on a hell of a run. I
mean, that could be a good main event. Cody versus Seth in the next WrestleMania. But
right, so Shaw agrees with me. He said the only bad promo that she has when she does the girl
I hate when she does like that fake run. Like, have you ever seen when she was trying to run to go get I think it was like what's her name? Alexa and somebody where they was getting jumped in the back and she started doing that fake run type shit. Like what to do?
Yeah, because she tries to be entertainer, but then her athletic, her track and field background kicks in, so she's like she don't want to run too fast, but she's still trying to be entertaining and run decent on camera. So yeah, I think she's just kind of stuck there.
But when she actually like herself in some promos, they are fire. Like the promo where it was the Raw after Raw SummerSlam, that promo I was like, all right, this is the real her. But then when she does all that corny shit, I'm like, nah, man.
Right. I agree. All right, so Noah says Seth beats Roman at WrestleMania 2023. Cody wins the 2024 Rumble, beats Seth at WrestleMania 40. So you want to drag this for another 2 years?
No. You bring it full circle because you don't have to have them wrestle each other in between that. I get what he's saying. You revisit it when you go in probably around Rumble or like January 2024 going into WrestleMania season. I actually like that because you just bring it full circle.
Okay.
Why Seth and not Sammy?
Even though, like a lot of people have been saying, Sammy's hot right now. I don't know, man. I'm still not like with Sammy having like Sammy being an NXT champion, Sammy being WWE champion. I don't know. Even though he's hot right now.
Yeah, Sammy is definitely
fire, but it's like
the only reason why I don't want Sammy to. The only reason I want Sammy to win is because I still want him in the bloodline. I want that to drag a little bit longer because he's entertaining as hell.
I'm gonna tell you something about Rumble or WrestleMania. That'll be over.
He's wheeling them in.
Because Sammy is definitely feeling Uzi right now.
Yeah, I think by either Rumble, it's either gonna be Rumble or Mania. That's gonna be over. I still don't think, in my opinion, I still don't think Roman is losing the title until SummerSlam.
I don't think he's losing that title until it hits 1,000 days.
Yeah, that's SummerSlam. That's the Friday. The Friday after SummerSlam. Somewhere between SummerSlam and that Friday and that week, he hits 1,000. So he'll either that Friday they'll do the celebration, and then either that following week he's either gonna lose it at SmackDown or at a pay-per-view. I like him losing it at SmackDown because nobody's gonna expect it.
Nah.
I love it.
You
gotta remember, they gotta for them to, in my opinion, they gotta start doing SmackDown like the way they used to. When we used to get title matches on SmackDown, when The Rock.
But you gotta understand, like back in the day, man, especially with The Rock and Triple H, that title was flipping hands. The Rock only had like, if you notice, The Rock haven't had like a longer than a 6-month reign.
I like it though. I mean, back then they could do that though because they had so many superstars that they could. It didn't matter who they put the title on. It was the level of competition and everything still was going to be up. It's hard for them to do that now, especially since they unified. Before they unified, they could do 6-month reigns on Raw, not really on SmackDown, but on Raw. They had so many people they could do 6 months with this person, 6 months with that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's a little hard to do that now. Raw, I still think it's not. It's a lot of people on Raw. Nobody on SmackDown, I'd really put the title on like that.
You got Sheamus, you got Drew, you got.
Hey, where's Cy when somebody's saying Sheamus? Nobody's saying Dolph Ziggler.
All right, so Noah says, I see Roman hitting 1,000 days, and he says Roman versus Braun Breaker on SmackDown, and Roman loses.
What?
Not yet.
Get Braun up out of here.
Hey, dog. I do not believe in Braun Breaker, dog.
Nope.
At all.
I mean, I do, but he just needs an image change, man.
I honestly think either one, he needs to get away from the whole Steiner thing because he's teetering the line. He doesn't have the name, but he has the gear. Everything about his wrestling is Steiner. So my thing is, let him embrace the Steiner. Maybe that'll get people behind him a lot more. Because right now, I can get behind Braun Breaker. I could get behind Braun Steiner or whatever.
Braun Steiner. That's a better name than Braun Breaker. Like he at some, and it might be when he gets to the main roster, they're gonna let him embrace the Steiner side.
Yeah,
more than likely, that's probably what they're gonna do. It's just, I don't know. I was telling people earlier about this. My thing with NXT 2.0, I know it's a tangent a little bit, but in order for, I feel like people have to let go of the black and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Even realizing that 2.0 was developmental. What we're getting right now on NXT is developmental, 100% developmental. Once you can get that in your mind and let go of what you saw on Black and Gold, I think you can appreciate NXT a little bit better for what it's supposed to be.
Right. All right. So Sway said the same thing that you guys said. He needs to use the Steiner name and have his dad and have Rick in his corner. That's but it'll give me that Charlotte Rick.
I'd rather him have Scott.
Yeah,
I do too.
No diss to Rick. If it's, both of them in that fact, but
I tell you the Big Papa. Big Papa.
All right, so Sean said, does a returning Robert Roode receive a major push under the Triple H regime? Absolutely.
It would have been happening.
I would love that.
He's about to come back. He's returning.
I believe this Friday.
Yes, I think it's either Friday. They're not putting him and Dolph back together. Thank God.
Yes.
I would love it.
Look, he would be a good ass heel after Roman takes a big ass break. He'll be a good ass heel.
Bobby Roode in TNA, in Impact, in NXT. was amazing. He still can do it. They just
It
don't give
remind me of
him.
Triple H.
They don't let him do him. He
Yeah.
hasn't been able to do him since he's been on that main roster. You let Bobby
Right.
Roode do him, it's gold.
Yep.
I
He has
think
the
whoever
mic
beats Roman
skills,
is the
the
next.
wrestling.
I said I think whoever beats Roman is the next superstar. It depends.
It depends.
If it's-
Depends at who beats him and when they beat him.
Yeah. They
And
need to
how they
start
beat
building
him.
people. Like say, like Braun Breaker, if he changes his image to Braun Steiner and they build him up, there's your new star. There's your new face. That's what
I see the only way Roman losing is the bloodline breaking up. Like they would literally have to turn on him, and everybody just turn their back on him. That's the only way I can see Roman losing. Oh, and Noah says, so you're not feeling Uzi tonight?
You know who I want to take Roman's titles? Jey Uso.
Main event, the right hand man. Okay.
Main event, Jay.
That would make
Jey.
the crowd pop. That would make it more pop than Sammy. Just
Yeah.
because of the storyline from the beginning.
I think there's more of a story. I think they need to relive him and Bray. They need to go back to him and Bray, though.
Oh, well, once Bray's finished with
LA Knight. Yeah.
They should have done that in
Nice.
Survivor Series. They should have gave one match on that.
Yeah. At
You
least.
know, I'm a huge advocate of Bray staying away from the title until Survivor Series next year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, don't give it to him right now, but please relive him and Roman though.
I want him to be back a full year. Let everything build. Whatever he's doing with his character, let him unveil his.
What is he
flow.
doing with his character? That's what I want to know. What is he doing with his character?
You know what? At
Yeah.
this point, I don't know. I don't care.
I think
but
he's trying to keep it.
I
the
enjoy
uncle-
watching.
Yeah, I think
Like
the
you
uncle's
said,
trying to get him
like
to
you
bring
were
the
telling us
theme
in
out.
the chat. This is one of those things I enjoy watching. I don't want to predict it. I'm cool talking about it, but I don't even want to try to predict it. I want to watch it unfold because I like what he's doing. Bray's, like Triple H said, Bray's mind is it's there. He reminds him of himself for real. It's just it's so vast in there. You don't know where he's gonna go with this character or anything, and I love it.
All right, so Noah says, for the love of God, let's not have Bray versus Howdy at Mania. Nah, I think
Nah.
No.
I don't. Yeah, I think Howdy's more so trying to get Bray to embrace
The Fiend.
The dark side.
the dark
Yeah, I
side,
think he
right.
wants him to bring the Fiend out.
Right. All right.
Or whoever that was in that mask that attacked LA Knight, whoever that is. No.
Right. All right. So Raw. What y'all think about Raw?
I ain't watching. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
They
ain't
hyped
watching.
it up. They hyped it up like somebody was gonna come back.
I actually watched it because Monday Night Football was trash.
Yeah.
I was watching Brooklyn play, so
I watched it because I thought Charlotte was gonna come back for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was going to be too. Raw wasn't bad though. It was actually good.
I just don't like the whole Matt Riddle just trying to find a partner. Like now he's teaming with Elias to go for the tag titles. Like it's just like
I didn't like that.
it's like he's trying to find friends. Like it's like
I like the Prophet.
Yeah,
I definitely like the Prophets coming back.
Yeah, I like that.
Montez
I seen
is looking
that.
up. He's looking good. Dawkins
that's
is
the new
slimming down.
Prophet. He's gonna be a
He's
champ
looking-
soon. I bet you.
Hey
gonna
man,
be a
but
champ soon.
but I'm gonna be honest. You can't count Dawkins out. Dawkins is slimming
No, he's
down.
improved. He improved and he slimmed down.
Yeah, he's getting better in ring. The only thing I didn't like about Raw last night, outside of the real thing, I really didn't like the OC
that's the six. That was
that 8-man
eight-pack,
person
man.
tag.
right.
Because one, they waited way too long to let Mia and Rhea get in.
Right.
And it was all over the place. That's the first time I've ever seen a 8-man with 3 guys and a girl. So
Yeah.
we'll mix tag like that. But
They should have done. They should have done that at War Games. I'm sorry. They should
I
have.
agree.
They should have done that. I thought they were.
and
Gonna
that's
do
what I
that.
thought they were gonna do.
Because putting
And then
Rhea
even with Mia, like her move, if watching her in Impact about a month ago and looking at her now, like last night, it looks different. It looked better in Impact. And you might have to if you go back and look at like her last couple matches before her contract was up with Impact, and you look at what the two she's had, 2 or 3, I think it's only been 2, since she's been back. I don't know. Almost like they're dumbing her down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It could be me.
WWE?
Yeah, because I had a coworker tell me today, he was like, he's not sold on Mia, and I told him, I'm like, Mia is actually good, but he said, you know, from what he said from what he's seen, he doesn't. But you know, he's only a main roster guy, so he hasn't seen NXT. He doesn't watch Impact. He only watches Raw, SmackDown,
AEW. I didn't see her before when she was in Impact the first time before she went into WWE.
I seen her highlights and I liked it. I seen her highlights and they were like, all right. I mean,
I liked her stuff. Her original TNA run. Her original TNA run was lit. I think in NXT she was real dope. Her main roster, they messed up. She went back to the Indies and Impact, and I think she learned a lot that she can bring back with her. It's just if they let her open it up or not.
I just think it didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense of her going to OC. That's probably why. That's probably why people is not sold to it because it doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought she was going to AEW with Keith Lee. To be completely real,
at some point, but you know what? I thought that at first, but then once Triple H took over, I knew she's going back because how much he talks about Triple H, how much he praises him.
Everybody. He ultimately wants everybody back, but a lot of people signed long contracts, whether it was with AEW, whether
that blood contract.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, nobody knew Vince was leaving.
Right,
you know what I mean? So like, you didn't know whether you were going to come back to if they were going to bring you back or not. And at the end of the day, it's a business. You got to make money. You got to feed your family, yourself. So I'm not mad at nobody for going to get a bag. I'd rather see certain people in WWE like Keith Lee, like Andrade. I mean, almost everybody that went to AEW, almost, not everybody. Athena, I think, should stay in AEW.
Yeah, she should stay in AEW. You think
Adam
FTR's
Cole, as much as people think I'd rather see Adam Cole in AEW.
You think FTR coming back to WWE? I know their contract is up.
I don't know how I feel about FTR, man. I feel like FTR is a better fit in AEW, in Ring of Honor, but I don't know. That tag team division in WWE is not ready for them. I think what they're doing with New Japan, with AAA, I think they're better doing what they're doing right now.
It's that type of wrestling. That's pro wrestling. Wrestling.
I like what they're doing right now as far as being able to be everywhere. Like literally can be everywhere, and them holding the titles the way they are. I like that. Them going back to WWE is like, it's kind of like the OC. To me, it's like the OC going back. Like
I was gonna say that.
I like them in Impact. I like what they were doing in Impact. I love what they were doing with Bullet Club and New Japan. But they come back. They can't. I mean, everybody knows they came back for a check. Those brothers are at a point that they're about to check. Whoever's giving them the big dollars, that's where they're going, and I think they've earned that. So definitely not mad at them for that.
So Noah says I don't like FTR at all. I'm just, in just my opinion. I like FTR. Me going from watching from NXT. I just didn't like when they started to become like comic relief, and they was hanging out with Baron Corbin, and then when they had to feud with the Usos, when it was just a lot of comedy, like I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I like when they were with Randy Orton. That was pretty good.
Right.
I love the Randy Orton.
Now, as far as Raw, I didn't like the fact that they had what's his name? They had Dakota Kai versus Candice LeRae so late in the show. Like, I mean,
should have been a little earlier.
Yeah, to me, if I was a normal guy, if I was like tired and I was fighting to stay up, I wouldn't have seen the main event because I'd have fell asleep on that.
I like the match.
Now, another thing I don't like about what Triple H is doing since he took over is it's a lot of like, hey, you got a problem with me? All right, well, you know what? Let's go fight in the ring. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once in a while, but I feel like either Raw or SmackDown, you have at least 3 of those impromptu matches, and you'd be like, okay.
I mean, they're impromptu for us, of course, but if you realize when they tell you the card for the week, even on Twitter, they only tell you like 2 matches, maybe 3.
Right.
And then everything else is, like you said, oh, you got beef? Let's go to the ring. Because AEW has been doing that too lately, where they'll tell you a couple matches, and then everything else is just random thrown at you. Like,
yeah.
All right. So Noah says, do you guys have your picks for the Iron Survivor matches? I haven't watched NXT yet. I'm gonna watch it
I'm
after
about
the
to say,
show.
I didn't even watch tonight.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Hold on.
Yeah, but we'll definitely get back to you once we watch it. Maybe the next show, once we know everybody's picks, we'll revisit that. What else?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna look now.
What else? What else happened on Raw?
The main event.
Yeah, the Kevin Owens against Jey Uso. I had a feeling KO was gonna win. It was a weird way to win.
I think they rushed it. I think they rushed the last minute.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe they were pressed for time. Who knows? But yeah, I feel like it kind of was rushed. As far as Raw, I think that was like, even though Raw was the first hour was commercial free. I'm watching. I'm like, dang, ain't no commercials yet. So it was decent for a commercial free show. What else? What else happened on Raw?
That was it.
Yeah, I think so. The Seth and I need to go back and watch that Seth and Austin Theory promo.
I saw it on Twitter, man. That shit look.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch that too.
I ain't gonna lie, Seth sunned him.
Really? Oh yeah, I definitely gotta watch it.
When did he send him? When he said
Theory had some comebacks, but he got sunned again.
Don't call me boy. I'm not your boy. I said, okay, boy. You want to hit me, boy? Go ahead, boy. Hit me.
And it's crazy that the next pay-per-view is Royal Rumble, which is the end of January. So we have no pay-per-view, and for December, nothing in the beginning or middle of January. So the next thing we have to look forward to is Rumble. So hopefully we should see a lot of build toward, going into Rumble. What else happened?
Ring of Honor in December, though. Ring of Honor is December 10th. And NXT too, the same day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was pretty much. We touched the Street Profits.
All right, so real quick, right? Because I just looked and seen who the competitors are for the men's and women's Iron Survivor match.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Iron Survivor match is supposed to be like King of the Mountain, right?
Yeah.
King of the Mountain. I thought it was like
the TNA match.
It's supposed. You remember the TNA King of the Mountain match?
Yeah. So what? They're gonna be trapped in a cage if they get pinned or penalized or something.
But it's not for the title. So I didn't watch all the stuff to see like how it goes. So is it like whoever wins gets a title shot or something?
Yeah. Whoever gets pinned go wait in the cage in a timeout like a penalty box. The loser, I just know the losers get in the penalty box for like a couple minutes and they come back out. Like each pinfall is a certain amount of points. Is a 30-minute match.
So how are they gonna do that with a 30-minute match with the penalties? Like that's
I don't know. Because looking at the women's one, so they announced tonight 4 of the men, 4 of the women, and then the 5th competitor will be decided in a match next week, for both of them. So I don't know. It looked like it's the breakout tournament all over again, to be completely honest with you. Because if you look at the men's side, it's everybody from the breakout tournament. Well, not everybody. It's 4 people from the breakout tournament. Same thing with the women, except for, pretty much the same. Because on the women's side, we'll talk about it. I'll put it in the chat, and then, like you said, we'll talk about it next week once they unveil the 5th person.
All right.
All right. So here are the official rules. All right. So the rules are 5 superstars will compete in this unique 25-minute match as they battle each other and the clock. 2 superstars will start, and every 5 minutes, a new superstar will enter until all 5 men are in the ring. Sort of kind of like War Games. But anyway, the goal is to have the most falls when the clock hits 25 minutes. Falls can be won anytime by pinfall, submission, or disqualification. When a superstar scores a pinfall, they will earn 1 point. However, when a superstar loses a fall, they must pay the penalty and they are forced into what the heck is this? All right. They are forced into a penalty box for 90 seconds. Once the 90 seconds are up, the superstar can re-enter the match. The superstar who has the most falls when the clock hits 25 minutes will be named Iron Survivor and become the number 1 contender for the NXT Championship and NXT Women's Championship respectively.
Okay.
So they don't lose a point if they get pinned?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I thought they said they did though initially, but I guess
I thought so. They did too
when
when Shawn Michaels was explaining. I thought that's what they was talking about. But I might be wrong too.
I'm
All right, so Noah says December's going to be a slow month. January it'll pick back up. And so Mika says, thanks for joining, Mika. It's a tournament to see who's ready to move up. I think so. So it's more of a showcase to see. Yeah, I think that's ultimately what it becomes.
Oh, and Carmelo's winning that then.
Yeah, if that's the case, yeah.
Yeah, because when I seen the men's side, that's pretty much who between him and Joe Gacy would be my picks. I got to see who that 5th man is going to be next week.
They got Von Wagner's in it too, right?
Hold on, I just watched the video. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Road Dogg, I think Road Dogg picked Von Wagner over Carmelo.
So it's Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, Grayson Waller, and Joe Gacy. And then the 5th man will be whoever wins the match next week.
Yeah, it's going to be Von Wagner.
I like it just because I'm a huge JD McDonough fan. I think dude dope, to be real with you. Oh, yeah. Von Wagner probably will be in it. And then the women, you got Joey Stark, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, and Kiana
Corey J gonna win that. Corey J gonna win that.
Well, they could put Joker. What's his name?
And then there's a 5th woman. The 5th woman to be next week. So
all right. So Mika says he's a potential entrant.
Who? Joker?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, like I said, I definitely see Carmelo pretty much getting moved up.
I mean, I think that one's a given. That's why I'm like, he might not move. I think it's more or less like who's next up in NXT as far as like who's that next NXT men's champion.
Right.
I could see it being Carmelo from that standpoint, but then Carmelo's main roster ready now. So I think you got to look past from everybody is going to pick Carmelo because he's obvious. I think you got to look past Carmelo once you see who that 5th person is, and then kind of being like, all right, they're building JD McDonough since he's been over from NXT UK. I don't think Grayson Waller. I think he's just in the match. I personally don't think he has it or is ready for that type of up there. And then Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy gives me Bray Wyatt vibes, and I like with him and Schism. I think him having the stable, it's perfect to put the title on him. I love it.
I feel like Apollo Crews is going to be that 5th person, and then since him and Braun,
but he's already got a title shot, right? He already has a title shot. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay, so that's case now. That makes sense. Okay, so it's not gonna be him then.
Yeah, he got one. I think it's December 10th.
All right. So let's backtrack a little bit. AEW Full Gear. I didn't watch it, but I do know a lot of the results.
I watched 4 days. That's about it.
Why did it take you 4 days, bro? You don't do nothing. don't even do anything.
Falling asleep, my nigga. 13 matches is crazy, bro.
Bro, we be on
It would take
spaces
me
for like
14
12
days. It
hours.
would take me 4 days too, man. It would take me 4
No,
days.
no. Let me tell you something. We be on spaces for like 12 hours. 4 of those 12 while you just sitting at the crib, you could have just turned it on.
Yeah, I could, but I be falling asleep, bro. After a while, I be falling asleep.
No, I think overall it was a
Mania.
good pay-per-view though. I
Nah,
mean,
it was good.
it definitely was dope. The MJF joint at the end shocked the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah, that was crazy with
Yeah.
William.
Well, I ain't gonna say it shocked everybody because I mean
Let's
from
talk
the
about
conversation
that. I want to talk.
from the conversations I've had, you know, on Twitter and stuff, like where I am most of the time. DX Keys, KEYZ, follow me. We kind of predicted that it was gonna be Regal. Like that week or two leading up to the match, it was like Regal's gonna play a major part in that match because you could just tell. So
What they
I was
did-
shocked once it finally happened, but at the same time, I won't shock.
What they did was, I'm gonna say, you're probably gonna hate this, Keys, but it was corny. The man had a ring in his finger. Regal says, "No, don't do that," and then throws the brass knuckles. Come on, that is the dumbest shit ever, man.
Because he said he wasn't going to use the. He said he
they
wasn't
could've
going to
shot-
use the ring.
Nah, he should have not even put the ring, and he should not even take the ring out. Regal should have just came out there and just throw that shit, and I bet you everybody think
Well,
that's stupid.
I guess Regal said,
It's
"Hey,
just-
that
it
ring was
more
back."
like, to me, it was more of a scratching.
Yeah, I guess Regal said, "Hey, that ring. You know, people used to their ring. That the ring is 2020 to 2021. MJF here. Here's these brass knuckles. this is how you finish him."
I'm gonna tell you the swerve of the night. No pun intended. Swerve and Keith Lee. They've been teasing the breakup for about 2 months now, just about since they lost the titles. Even before that, a little bit, to be honest with you. But I loved it because you're about to get some fire matches out of the both of them together. I didn't like them as a tag team anyway, personally. So
I didn't either. I think
It was random.
It was corny.
It was
random
holding
and
Keith
corny,
Lee
man.
back. That was holding Keith Lee
That's
back,
true.
bro.
That's true. That is true.
that's why I said those single matches between him and Swerve about to be crazy now.
Yeah,
Keith
a
Lee
lot
should
of
be in
hard-
the main event picture. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
now. Keith Lee should be
Him
in
and
the main
Miro.
event
I
picture.
said that. Him and Miro, bro. Him,
What
Miro.
Tony's doing to that shit is fucking trash, man. Tony need to find some people that really know how to book, because he does not know how to book. He's just a fan,
We haven't
just like
seen
us.
Miro since All Out, yo.
I'm finally agreeing with a lot of people that he's definitely fantasy booking.
Yeah.
He's definitely playing the wrestling video game in real life and putting whoever he wants in matches and championships. Like the only one that makes sense has been MJF.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think
like the
I like
Call
the
tomorrow.
Acclaim. I love the Acclaim being tag champions. I feel
I do
like
too.
because they're homegrown, and if you know, like for me, I watch AEW Dark from jump, like when it started. So to see Bowens and Caster in single stuff, and they were just losing matches. Then they put them together in a random tag match, like during the pandemic, like they were doing everybody, and they struck gold with them, and they kept putting them. They kept tagging them, and then they formed the Acclaim, and from there to now, it's beautiful because they are the homegrown AEW champion compared to everybody else. MJF came from MLW. Like most people, if you watch MLW or the Indies, you knew who MJF was. He's still homegrown, but not the same way that the Acclaimed are. So
Acclaim naturally got over.
and Jade's another one. Jade is a home. AEW was the first time she ever wrestled. She didn't wrestle in the Indies. She didn't come from another promotion or nothing. Literally, when I watched her Breakfast Club interview, I finally understood that because I didn't know that part. She's another.
I thought they told her that. I thought they said that when she came with Shaq. When she came with Shaq, that was like the first wrestling match.
Yeah, you could tell she was blue as hell. Yeah.
Oh, no, you could definitely tell she was super green then, but she's another one that's a 100% homegrown AEW
They
talent.
struck
So
gold with her. They struck gold with her, man.
definitely. I want to see how far this undefeated streak goes. Her and Nyla Rose actually was a dope match because that's the first time she's had somebody that could potentially beat her, like overpower her, made her
we
look.
We know why she could overpower her. We know the truth.
I mean, but we're not talking about it's the point of she still hasn't faced anybody that could, like we said with Roman. A lot of people didn't like the whole thing with Logan Paul, but Logan put a chink in the armor. He showed that he could be scratched. It was the same thing with Jade. You finally seen where she could be scratched a little. I think you saw it with Thunder Rosa also in that TBS women's title match to determine who's going to be the champion. Yeah. But since she's had that title, nobody has been able to do it. Athena was supposed to do it and she didn't. So
they made Athena look weak. They made Athena look weak, yo.
But it's Jade, man.
Yes, but we're not going to talk about that. The Jungle Boy match with Luchasaurus was fire. The storytelling in that was amazing. I think it ended the right way. Of course, they're gonna have to circle back because him and Christian aren't done, and with Christian being hurt, they're definitely gonna circle back to that at some point because they got to end that feud also.
When Christian contract up?
That's bro, man. It's not up.
Honestly, a lot of people I don't know like their contracts and stuff, but I think he's gonna end up having like a backstage one. Because him and Edge and Christian are already in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, so he ain't got.
No.
So he don't have to kiss
not.
WWE ass.
Oh, Christian's not.
No, Christian.
I thought they were.
He's not.
They're not in there. Yeah.
You sure? I thought they were in the Hall of Fame.
Edge went in solo.
Yeah, Edge went solo.
Him and Christian ain't go in together yet.
Wow.
Oh, so maybe he do got to kiss WWE ass to get back.
But they would have did it that year with Christian jump ship. When after the Rumble, he jumped ship.
Yeah, he did jump ship.
I mean, my thing is, if you don't tell me it's about to happen, of course I'm going to. I can still wrestle. Christian can still wrestle, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, what else happened there? Jamie Hayter winning the women's title was fire. Yeah, and I like the way it happened because she's a heel.
Yeah, about damn time.
Love the way it happened.
She's a champion or she's the interim champion?
No. They officially, so last Wednesday, they made it official that she is the official women's champion now. And they also recognized Toni Storm's reign as an official reign. It wasn't an interim. Tony kind of corrected his wrongs with that. I think they should have been did that though, because for one, Thunder Rosa has been gone way too long. But apparently, she's injured. It's some backstage stuff, but she's injured. She's had a lot of heat with the other women. I don't know. I like her in ring. I think in ring, Thunder Rosa's fire. It's just her backstage stuff. She's a dope person though. So I don't know. But I think we're gonna end up. It's gonna be kind of like that Batista Randy Orton thing with how Triple H had them turn, or they turned on them. I think Britt's gonna end up turning on her, and we're gonna get her and Britt, which is gonna be dope. Okay, so Jermaine, you said you haven't watched it, right?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Me neither.
Oh, you haven't? So neither one of y'all saw the Saraya match.
No,
horrible.
I'm not gonna say it was horrible. It wasn't a 5-star. It was exactly what I thought it was gonna be for her first match back after so long.
After 10 years, like, 25 years.
Just like CM Punk's match. The same thing. CM Punk, when he first came back, it was sloppy. It was like riding a bike. Mm-hmm. You still like the mechanics are still there, but you're a little wobbly and you ain't got that strength yet. I think it was like maybe a 2.5, 3. It gave exactly what it was supposed to give. I wasn't expecting a lot from it. I think Britt was the perfect person for her to have that match with. The emotion was there. She won like we knew she would. I think after a couple matches, she'll be back to where she's supposed to be at.
I don't know, because CM Punk wasn't back to
He still ain't
how
back.
he was.
He still wasn't.
Yeah,
CM Punk.
But she's younger than Punk too, so you got to remember that she's only. I think she just turned 30, so she's younger.
Man, Hogan did the same shit at his age, and Hogan was doing good shit.
Yeah. Punk also was doing UFC, so he at least was staying in shape. I don't know.
Right.
If you call that UFC, wait, Dave.
That she was. But I think she also said she doesn't know how often she's gonna wrestle. It's not gonna, I think it's gonna be a here or there, big feuds, nothing. She might do a couple of random matches here or there, maybe on Dark and Dark Elevation, but I don't think it's gonna be 100% like I'm back. I think mostly her is to help that women's division backstage with Madison Rayne. I think that's the biggest part of it. I think it's really just her more for her and Madison Rayne to like really develop what up, FaZe? Show that that women's division how to like really do things. So
when is Jade gonna get the title, man? When's she gonna be in the main event?
I think it's
Next year.
What's the first big pay-per-view of the year for them? It's
Revolution, right? Whatever it's called.
I want to say if she's not getting it at Revolution, it'll be at Double or Nothing.
Or the next All Out.
Hey man, I'm stamping this now. We are going to Double or Nothing next year. It was on my birthday this year, and I'm still mad I didn't go. We are going.
Yeah, because it was in Vegas, right?
Yep, it was literally on my birthday. That would have been.
I remember we was talking about going.
Would have been a wonderful guys trip. We got to do it next year. Vegas, Double or Nothing. It's gonna be a movie.
Sounds like a plan.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be next year. If it's not at Revolution, I think it'll be at a Double or Nothing. It's gonna be next year though. I think after Jamie, either Britt's gonna get it, then Jade, and Jade is gonna beat Britt for the title. I think Britt is gonna be that person that you have to beat for the title, like certain people.
Right.
But would you do a heel versus heel, or would you do babyface versus heel?
So
both
Britt,
of them are
heels.
But both of them got
they get crowd reactions.
Yeah, both. Yeah,
they're both tweeners.
Both of them over. They're both over. So
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's tough.
Well, speaking of Jade, I feel the type of way that my girl Kiera got kicked out of the baddies.
Everybody,
so what happened? What happened?
I don't know. I know she.
So pretty much the way they did it was when she ran up on Bow Wow last Sunday, which that whole thing is still funny as hell to me. Yeah, but when she ran up on Bow Wow, Layla Gray was with her, and Velvet and Red Velvet came back. So Red Velvet was with her and Layla Gray, but Kiera wasn't with her. So on Wednesday, when they did the whole little thing, she pretty much was like, "Where were you?" and da-da-da. And then Mark Sterling kicked her out. Well, he gave her walking papers. Yeah, literally had her sign something, and she was gone.
Damn, that's my baby, man.
But I think that's Jay's next feud because Kiera can wrestle. And the matches they had before were squash matches. Like Jade pretty much squashed her. I think this one's gonna be the only thing with Jade is she's so much bigger
than everybody.
All the women in the division.
Right.
And I think that's why the Nyla Rose one looked better because of the height and the size. Excuse me.
Yeah, Nyla. Jade needs to fight like Bianca, Rhea.
But even with the Bianca, it's the height difference. She's a big girl. She's tall.
But you could do it.
If she's not
more like Charlotte.
I think Charlotte it would look good because Charlotte's tall. I want to say she's over 6 feet, or at least the boots make her look like she over 6 feet.
See, Kiara what she could do is she could do the Finn Balor, the AJ style, or the Daniels versus Brock type wrestling, where they that was fire. Like that was I think those were like one of the best Brock Lesnar's matches since Kurt Angle and since Roman lately. But that period, if she could do that, then you could tell the story, man, and she can get the crowd over with her behind her and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right,
it's gonna be interesting.
So one thing I wanted to touch on, I forgot. So Dexter Lumis finally gets a WWE contract after months of him going back and forth with The Miz. Finally beats The Miz, get his contract, then proceeds to give away $500 to the crowd. Well, to kids, I should say.
I like that. I think it was dope.
I feel like they dragged that feud too long, man.
Way too long.
They dragged it too long.
It's crazy how he didn't have a contract, but he had a theme music. He had a Titan
Exactly.
Oh my God!
He's letting everybody in now.
He in the locker room chilling, coming out from the back. He ain't come from the crowd. He just paid for the walk to the back. You said theme music, entrance video.
He was under the ring.
Right, access to
everywhere, man. NXT.
But what I know, one thing they did say they didn't like about Raw was how Becky was kissing up to the fans last night.
Yeah, she has to.
That was extra. And then what I didn't like was they made Becky seem like Superman. There's no way you're trying to tell me Becky could beat Damage Control by herself. Like there's no way in the world.
Yo, I was confused with that. I'm like, is somebody gonna come help her? Like, what's going on?
Nah, she was the female Brock. She took.
Is it me or did she get slimmer?
She did. She had a baby and got smaller. I don't know how that's possible, but
I don't either. And I like the old Becky when she was thick, like before the baby, man. It made her seem more, maybe then she could take out all Damage Control. Now it's like that's like Alexa Bliss. That's like Alexa Bliss doing that by herself.
Her and Dakota Kai the same size. Like you try to tell me that she literally took out all of them by herself.
That's like Ellsworth. That's like Ellsworth taking out the bloodline by himself.
Yes. Man said Ellsworth, man.
No chin music to everybody.
No chin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was hard. But when I saw that, I was like, really, like.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, somebody gonna come help her because this is gonna get bad. And then I just see her start tossing them around. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Just mess up the whole concession stand. Just I'm like, yo, how she dominate these three? Like it's.
I didn't see it. Did they do that awkward pause? When everybody's jumping somebody, they just wait for somebody's turn. Like, say if like Becky starts hitting one person just stares at them until it's time for them to get hit.
Io was doing that.
Yeah, Io was. Yeah, then she threw him into the little stand with the shirts, and
then
that fell on him.
Crazy. Io was doing all that with a neck brace on.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
And then Bayley, I don't know if Bayley really hurt. She was really limping at the end of that. And she had a knee brace on.
I think a lot of them really were hurt. That's why none of them had matches last night, except for
Dakota
Kai.
Dakota, and then Mia and
Rhea.
Everybody else pretty much was hurt for real.
But everybody else was doing botches, man.
Yeah, like
that shit. How Dakota folded in that fucking when she hit the fucking cage. I said, God damn. Especially when what's the other girl? The other Japanese, not
Asuka.
No, the other one. Damn.
Io.
Yeah. She was. I was like, damn, man. I know that shit had to sell.
That's a fact. She had about 4 by herself.
All right, so Shah says, so now that Lumis is signed to the way, do we get the main roster version of the way? I mean,
no.
I think so.
I don't think they're gonna bring Indy up yet.
They've been teasing it. I think the whole thing about about Candice LeRae not having any friends on the main roster, the way she said it last night, I think that's teasing her coming up.
But now do you you have Loomis instead of the Loomis version instead of the Theory version?
Right. Because Theory's not gonna. They've
Yeah, it
already
doesn't
made
make
that
sense.
evident. They're not putting Theory back with them.
Right.
So I like the way
They can
though.
bring somebody.
I think the weight would be fire on the main roster.
I think so too.
So
All right.
did we touch on everything from Full Gear? Oh, the trios. The elite.
Who used the hammer? Ray Phoenix did, right?
Huh?
Ray Phoenix used the hammer twice in a row, right?
I like it because they were teasing that too. You know, they had like Ray Phoenix, like, I don't want to use it. I don't need it. He kept throwing it every time Pac tried to give it to him. And then he finally like, I bet.
Yeah, because it was about to be over for him. It was about to be over right there. Kenny was about to hit him
It
with
shocked everybody too because everybody just knew the elite coming back meant they were getting those trios tag titles from Jump. So I liked it. I thought that was dope. It
I
threw a
think
wrench
Wednesday shocked everybody more than it did Full Gear.
that they're up 2-0 in that seven match series.
Yeah, and how Penta had the hammer behind Matt, it was like, oh shit.
They better not do a 3-0 and then the elite wins it all.
I think it's gonna go like a regular 7 game. They went up 2. I think the elite about to find a way, and they're gonna win the next 2. That makes 4 matches. Then the last 3, it's gonna go 7 because the one in January they have to skip a week because that's when Wrestle Kingdom happens.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are going to Japan that week.
And then that 7 matches in Cali, they home.
Yeah. So they're in Seattle for match 6. That week of Wrestle Kingdom, they're in Seattle. It's supposed to be a real big show that week, but they don't have a trios match that week because that's, of course, like I said, the week of Wrestle Kingdom. Kenny's going to be gone because he's facing Will Ospreay for the U.S. title. Somebody else is going to be gone too. There's a couple other names. I think the Best Friends will be over there. It's a couple other names too. So they're not going to have like a lot of their heavy hitters that week.
Yeah, because you know Eddie going.
Eddie will probably be there because, you know, he loves Japan. So
I think for that 7th match, Adam Cole going to help the elite win.
I think it needs to be a ladder match.
I think Adam Cole going to interfere somehow.
I feel like
they're going to
just doing regular trios matches, 7 matches in a row.
Yeah.
One of them got to be a gimmick match, if not a couple.
Yeah, a couple gimmick. Give me a cage.
Yeah.
Give me a cage. Give me no DQ. Give me a ladder.
Some other than a regular trios match.
Give me a hammer on the pole.
Match. Something is not
hammer on the pole, you know?
They might do something like that.
Noah said they're gonna go up 3-0 and Elite gonna tie it at 3-3.
Nah, they can't do that.
But then
if they do that shit, that shit's whack, man. If they do that shit, that shit's whack. If they do 3-3 up and then Elite goes all 4 matches, when that shit whack.
I wouldn't even want to see that. I'd rather do the back and forth.
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
All right. So DJ Face said when the kids looked at the $100 bill like it was fake, I was laughing.
Nah, they did though. Them kids was like did y'all see the video with did y'all see the video where the kids went to the merch joint and they used the money, but then so they only had 100, but Dexter had also let them go buy whatever they wanted and he paid for it.
They should have done. They should have done it like that. Yeah, they should have used WWE.
Yeah, they went to the merch joint at the end, like after the show, and they bought whatever they wanted, and Dexter paid for everything.
That's what's up.
That's dope.
I forgot it was in Norfolk last night. To be honest, I thought
you was there. I thought you wasn't gonna go.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, it's
coming to
DC. I would have rather went to Norfolk because it's closer than DC, less traffic. Because DC is DC next week, but the traffic and getting to DC is crazier. So I would have rather went to Norfolk.
Are you trying to go, Keys?
I'm gonna hit you
All right.
because DC
All right,
makes
so-
a lot more sense. So
All right, so Shah says, does Claudio retain a Ring of Honor title, or is he the newest addition to the Jericho Association Society?
Yeah, he's gonna be the new member. That shit's breaking up.
Claudio's winning.
This shit's
think so?
breaking up, man.
They're not gonna keep Jericho with the title after a final battle. So I think Claudio's gonna win.
All right, and Noah says, I'm going to Battle of the Belts in January.
You know what they should do with battles of the belts, man? They should do Ring of Honor
Cancel.
World Champion versus AEW World Champion.
Yeah, that'll be fire, but they should cancel it. Battle of the Belts is central.
Yeah. that
I
1 hour
don't think
shit.
have they had a title change at Battle of the Belts yet?
No.
I thought they've
they've had good matches.
Wasn't
Was
the
that
TNT
when Wardlow won it?
Oh, did Warlow win at Battle of the Belts?
Was it
No,
Battle
he
of the
won
Belts?
on-
Yeah.
He won on Dynamite.
It was on a Dynamite. I don't know. If,
Warlow's from Cleveland, right?
yeah,
He won on Dynamite then. He won. I
he
think
won
he
it
won
at
it.
home.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He beat Scorpio, right?
Yeah, he beat Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio, yeah.
That was on Dynamite, I think. It could have been
Oh,
Battle
and
of the
Fight
Belts.
Forever comes out in February. Wow, so you got Fight Forever and then 2K23, all interesting.
All right, so real quick, right? 2K22 literally just came out. What would
Nah,
be
it came
the
out in
point?
March.
Right. So what's the point of putting out 23 that quick? I feel like you
Yeah.
gotta give it a good year.
It would have been a year in March.
Is that when the next one coming out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why not just update the rosters on 22? Why?
I agree.
I
but
feel like if you want to make money, make us pay for the roster update then.
Right.
Instead of putting out a whole new game,
But it's
charge.
2K, bro. You talking 2K. 2K is the ones running the damn thing, man. They don't do that shit to 2K.
But
I only feel like you do it with WWE this time. Like for 2K24, fine. Like do a full new game for for 24 or whatever, and do it for later in the year. But for March, I would just do a roster update. I would make it a DLC, like one whole DLC. I wouldn't make it like separate ones.
So would you
And
charge like
charge,
$40?
No, because then you damn near charging what the game is. Or that's like half of the new game, depending on which one you get. But yeah, I would make it $30 or $40, and you have to pay for that update. And then later, like at the end of the year or something like that, maybe October, November, like they usually do, then 2K, then the next one drops.
So the thing with me, things I didn't like about 2K22, I didn't like the fact that there's only like maybe Brock Lesnar is the only one that has pyro. Like AJ doesn't have pyro. A lot of the wrestlers don't have pyro, and I'm big on pyro. Then you can't even add
You can't
pyro.
even do it for your creative person.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
I was
whack.
Also, don't
highly
like
upset.
how if I got 2 titles, I can't walk out with both of my titles. And if I'm not defending the title, I don't even wear my title when I'm walking out.
They did that shit back in I think it was the first 2K, WWE first 2K, I think they did it like that. That you can only walk with one title. That shit's whack.
Well, and not even that though, because it's like if you're defending your title, yeah. But like I just said, even if you're not defending your title, if I'm a champion, I should be coming to the ring no matter what the match is with my belt or belts.
Yeah. They probably do it for this one. They do it the new 2K. They're probably gonna do that shit, man.
Are y'all getting Fight Forever?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. From the pictures that I've seen, I wasn't impressed.
I think from the review, I watched a couple of the like some people get the games early so they can do their YouTube reviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen watching those, it looks dope. It gives me I'm trying to think of the game. Is it No Mercy?
Yep.
I think it's No Mercy. It gives me No Mercy vibes, and I like No Mercy a lot.
What, Fightful?
Yeah, Fight Forever. I mean, it looked dope. I need to know more about the gameplay and like the one thing I like about WWE is the career mode. I always like that where I can like, especially the way they did it this year, not just the My Rise, but even when you're doing the whatchamacallit, you can lock in on one person. So I like that about 2K. So I need to know more about the gameplay, but I probably will get it.
Is it more like what, like the graphic? Is it more like elite type of graphic? You know, they like the Street Fighter type shit, or is it more?
It was done by THQ, so it's
that's why I say it gives you that No Mercy. Dope. It's like an upgraded and updated version of those graphics though. So it's good. I'll send you some of the YouTube videos I got so that way you can kind of look at it yourself. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, a lot of people gonna buy it.
It gives me low key. It gives me the TNA type vibes. The TNA game. Did you ever play that shit?
Nah.
No, I never played the TNA game.
I forgot they had one.
I ain't played it either, man. But
I remember it.
The graphics, like the graphics.
It looked like if I remember, it looked like Nitro. I mean Thunder.
Oh, Thunder! I was so hyped when I first got Thunder, but when I played it, I was just like,
Thunder used to.
I like Nitro.
With the loading.
Nitro was better, man.
Yeah, Nitro was fire.
Both of them.
Thunder was dope. Both of them. Once you actually got into the game, but like the loading took forever.
The characters, they were less.
The cage matches, all it. I don't know. Shy just asked a really dope question.
All right, so
I have a great answer for that.
All right, so Shy said, with WWE having so many female talent at the helm, would it be a good move to have a mid-card title like AEW and the TBS title?
Not yet. I think they should wait a little bit more. They're getting there, but not
Jermaine
yet.
knows where I'm about to go with this, and I think Andrew. So on 2K, right?
Yeah, the women's.
I remember telling y'all in the chat
that
if you do the women's My Rise, they have a women's intercontinental title.
Fact.
Yeah.
I like that. I do feel like they do need to, outside of the SmackDown women's title and the Raw women's title, having maybe a women's IC that can bounce back and forth between both shows like the women's tag does, instead of it being just on one show. I like that. I wouldn't add any other title after that, but I definitely would do a women's IC title. I think they put that in the game for a reason, and I feel like at some point in the next year, they're going to introduce a women's IC title, and I like it.
I can agree with that. All right. One last question, and then we can wrap up. So, the SmackDown World Cup predictions. Who you guys think is going to win the World Cup? Ricochet or Santos Escobar?
Santos, baby.
Escobar.
Yeah, I think Santos.
I really want to say Ricochet. I still
you a Ricochet guy. You a Ricochet guy.
I've always been though. Like I've liked Ricochets in New Japan.
King Puma.
Like, I like them in
King Puma.
Yeah, Prince Puma. Like I like Ricochet, bro. But I don't know, man. They're pushing them right now. At least it looks like they are.
Right.
It's too late to push him. I'm sorry, man. Like at first, when he first came to the roster,
I think it is too.
It was perfect, but now it's too late, man. It's too late.
He
already got too corny, man. He got too corny, man.
I think I feel like for what they're doing with Santos, it makes sense for it to be Santos.
Right.
So
and then it was the Imperium versus Legado, but
they're revisiting those NXT rivalries.
Right. All right, guys. So we thank you for joining us on another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We thank everybody for commenting. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I've been your host, Jay McMahon.
The big dog keys, you know.
You already know, Big Bad Hoochosaurus. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter at Hoochosaurus. House party tonight.
You know, the special guest villain Induce. I'm here to argue next time.
Word.
We gotta bring Trav on next time for the arguing.
Yeah, we did. That's gonna be interesting. That'll be a show within itself. But
Yes, it will.
Definitely thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.